What's up, everybody? I'm Herb. You're back on Herbscapes once again. This is the fourth video on this channel, and today we got something a little bit different than we've done in the past. We got a shrimp breeding tank today. We're going to get into shrimp breeding on this channel. This isn't going to become a shrimp breeding channel, but I thought it would be kind of cool to make the studio a little bit more self-sufficient. As you know, cherry shrimps, New York Ardinas, Caradinas, Amano shrimps, you know, there's so many different types of these, and they're all have one thing in common, and that they are all extremely expensive these days. They're very popular. I think they go for like 5 for $26 or something like that nowadays. So being able to be a little bit more self-sufficient here in the studio, being able to have them when I need them for any of my planetscapes is going to be really cool. So hopefully you guys get a kind of a kick out of this video. So let's just jump right into it, huh? And voila, this tank has basically been cycling for about 2 weeks now, just with pretty much nothing in it. I got some plants. We're going to plant them into little separate containers inside the shrimp empire here. This is a 10-gallon tank. Hopefully that they have enough room to breed and everything like that. I got a heater on there. This is about 74 degrees. And I have the Aquarium Co-op sponge filter with the flow spout at the top. It increases the flow. If you don't have one of those on your sponge filter, I'd recommend one. It's really, really great. As you can see, it's got plenty of flow at the top of that tank. So first things first, let's go ahead and get some of the water out of this. We'll get the plants out, we'll get the substrate layer in, and then we're gonna go ahead and plant our plants inside their separate little containers and get going. And now that the water level is a little bit lower, let's go ahead and get all of our plants out, and we can get the substrate in once we break down the rest of the tank. This is Frogbit. I've had trouble getting this in the past. I think I've mentioned that maybe once or twice before. But my local aquarium store had some. I think a customer brought it in for them, so I was able to get my hands on it. I love Frogbit. It's one of my favorite floating plants. It doesn't grow as quick as like a Salvinia. Definitely not as quick as like a duckweed or something like that. But I think that shrimp absolutely love it. It doesn't completely take over your tank, which is good. This is Cryptoludia. This is a Monte Carlo. I got 2 pots of that. I got 2 bunches of Juncus repens, one of my favorite plants. And some dwarf Sagittarius, or Sagittaria. And then this is just some random sort of Rotala cuttings from one of my other tanks. This is from the 4.5 gallon Phoenix Reservoir tank. All right, we got everything out of the tank. Let's go ahead and get our substrate layer in. We're going to use a pretty thin layer of this stuff. It's not really to plant anything in, it's just to add a little bit of beneficial bacteria. We should say a little real estate for some beneficial bacteria to kind of colonize. And for that, we're going to use the Eco-Planted aquarium substrate. This is the Carib Sea stuff. Not affiliated with them at all. I just think it's really good. This is like a crushed lava rock sort of substrate. I think it's basalt. So it's going to add a ton of beneficial bacteria to the tank, which is going to help stabilize our tank, which is going to be really critical for a shrimp tank in general. So let's go ahead and get that in the tank right about now. All right, now that we have the substrate layer in, you can see it's a little murky, but that actually isn't from the substrate itself. It's from just the murk that was kind of in the tank to begin with. And all that should be able to kind of clear out soon. So let's get our change bucket back over, and we can go ahead and get our filter going back in there. Filter back in. There's a good spot for it. In the corner, or where it was before. And we're also going to get a couple of rocks in here. I found these rocks at my local shop. This one was really cool because it had this kind of cool indentation at the bottom. which is going to act like a cool little cave for these guys. So it's going to give them a little bit of room to go ahead and hide and other things. And I think I want it to go kind of somewhere in the middle. So let's place that first rock about there. And let's get that second rock about there. As you can see, it's pretty murky in there because I've been kind of messing around, but that'll filter out as time goes on. We got this cool little rock effect there. I ended up adding that smaller little rock right there. That little cave is just so funny. I saw that rock and I was like, I gotta have that. That's so cool. So they're gonna have a little bit of extra little cave room there. The substrate looks great. The filter's in there, the heater's in there. There's not really much else this tank needs. I wanted to add some plants because I do think that plants add a benefit to shrimp. It just little extra spots for, you know, little whatever, detritus or yada yada to kind of collect and feed them. So let's go ahead and get our separate little containers planted, and then we're gonna go ahead and get those in there as well. So, and then this is what I meant. Sorry. If I'm sounding a little congested here, guys, it's because I am. I've been kind of having nursing a little bit of a cold the last couple days, so thanks for your patience with my voice if it sucks. This is what I meant by separate containers. I found these little glass containers at the thrift store. I like to use a lot of these little recycled containers. I do tiny terrariums and stuff in them, but I think these are going to be really cool to go in the tank, planted up. So I'm going to put some substrate in these, some Fluval Stratum, not sponsored by Fluval, but I'm going to use some Fluval Stratum and some of our Carob Sea substrate. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plant quite a bit of these little plants in here. I have this one, and I also have this one here. I also have some cups like this. We'll see how many we kind of want to do and how many look good, but I think that these two main ones I think are going to be probably good for the purposes of this tank. Now that we have this undone here, we'll go ahead and grab the bottoms of it like that in like bunches. You can see there, kind of that bottom bunch. Boom. Go ahead and take our tweezers. Just confirm that that's actually like a single bunch. I think that that's a little bit of a root there too. Yeah, just like that. See a like little plug. Go ahead and wrap it up. Grab it by the roots. And you go ahead and just plunge it in. And just like that, I think that that's pretty much good. We are going to do one more thing, just to kind of give this the best chance of kind of taking off. I am going to put our Aquarium Co-op root tabs in here. Again, not sponsored or connected to Aquarium Co-op at all, but all right, beautiful. I think that's going to work out really, really nice. Next up. lesson on how you propagate Juncus. You see at the end of each of these nodes, you can just kind of snip it. And each one of those will grow back. Go ahead and take that all the way down when you're first planting though. And then that first node right there will grow. Then every single one of those other ones will as well. Just gonna kind of take that. That one actually has a 2. Boom. You take each one of those, plant it back, and it will grow very well. Boom! Look how beautiful. Pretty satisfied with how both of those turned out, so let's go ahead and get these soaked and then we'll get them in the water. Alright, so I went ahead and I filled these up with water pretty much so that we don't get too much like splash. So let me take this bigger one. I'm thinking that that's going to be kind of like the front. And then let's go ahead and just put it in. I'm thinking like right in this area is going to be the best. Really slow so that nothing wants to float up. And then alright, I think that actually looks pretty neat. I don't know if I like that one smaller rock in there. I think I might take that out. Yeah, I think that's better. I think that the shrimp are actually gonna really like this. I think that that's kind of cool. I love the little jar look. I think that that's super interesting. I've seen some other people do that before, so it's not like an original idea or anything, but I think I've never had that before, so it's actually kind of interesting and cool to have in the fish room. So let's go ahead and get this thing filled back up, and we'll go ahead and get the filter going again. We'll get the heater on, and I think I am going to put a small surface skimmer on this just for a little bit, just to kind of clear out the water a little bit, and then we'll call it a day. We got the tank filled back up. We got the filter going. You can see it bubbling the surface there. Nice and good. We got our surface skimmer blowing everything around. Hopefully that helps to clear the water out a little bit, but I think we have a success here. I think we just need to wait, let the tank mature, let it come up to temperature, let the plants come in a little bit. Hopefully they do really, really well in those little containers. I've never done that before, so we're gonna have to, it's kind of an experiment for me at least. I've seen some people do it, but it's never really been something that I've ever really attempted to do, so that little shrimp cave is hilarious. I absolutely love that I ended up getting that rock, or finding that rock. That's kind of serendipitous. But I think that these look absolutely gorgeous. I'm so happy that this worked out. These containers are so unique too. So hopefully this Monte Carlo spills out of there. Hopefully the plants grow up nice and good. Hopefully this tank water clears up over the next couple weeks, and hopefully our shrimp love this place.